control. Her gravity is all that I know. She's over me. She's over me. She comes me with her hypnotic dance. She holds me here with only a glance. She's over me. She's over me. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages, welcome to the Sunday edition of the Paranormal Portal. These are Night Terrors. These are the shorter format shows, and where we get into one subject and just kind of hammer the hell out of it for an hour until we're done. And as always, I am thrilled you guys are here. Thank you so much for being here. Those of you who have come in already, and those of you that will continue to come in, and those of you that are watching it at another time rather than when it's live, because life happens. I know it's sometimes tough to catch these shows live, but thank you to all of you who do check them out when you're able to. That means the world, and thank you so much. It's Sunday. This is our last broadcast day of this week. I know it's actually another week, but you know, it's just kind of the end of our broadcast week, which is Wednesday through Sunday at 7 p.m. On YouTube. We do shows live all that time. This is the last one. I take Mondays and Tuesdays off because, well, let's face it, I need some time. I just got to keep my head straight. I did 7 days a week shows and three podcasts a week as well. We were doing, Don and I together, we're doing 10 shows a week, if you can imagine that schedule, for years. But I just decided, you know what, I need to step back just a little bit because I was going kind of squirrely. Just feels like, you know, it just gets to be a lot to carry over and over. So I hope you don't mind that I take a couple days off, but don't worry. Monday and Tuesdays, if you come to the YouTube channel and you got a Jonesin for some Portal, we've got over 1,026 episodes now on our YouTube archives of Paranormal Portal streams to check out. So if we're not live, there certainly should be something that will keep you entertained, at least on those off days. And feel free to binge them. Feel free to share them to all your social media and all that stuff. It really helps us out a ton. Throughout the course of the show tonight, of course, the phones will be live, 720-923-0500. And I have my number one son here with me tonight. Mr. Sheldon Thomas is joining us all the way from the wilds of Minnesota. Welcome back, my boy.
It's good to be back as always.
It's good to have you back. Thanks for coming on again. This has been a lot of fun for us to do this together as well. I really enjoy it, and hope you're enjoying it.
I'm enjoying every single episode I'm a part of.
Oh, thank you so much. And, you know, you're doing great. You're helping me carry the load, and that's always awesome. It's, you know, I don't mind doing the solo shows, of course, but it does help when I have someone to talk to. I mean, I just think it just adds another element to the show. And of course, all of you guys in the chat, you guys are always like this, the second co-host. You guys are always a part of the shows. But if you have a comment that you want to make during the course of the show, then by all means, put it in the chat if you don't want to call in and do it live. But if you put it in the chat, please do an @Paranormal Portal, the shift number 2 @sign, and then Paranormal Portal, because it gives me a nice big orange box that I can see. Best father and son bonding idea ever. Thanks, Andrew.
Yeah, good point, actually. Yeah.
Are you bonding right now, Sheldon?
We're always bonding every episode. I don't know how much closer we can get. It's going to get scary.
I don't even know where to go with that for sure, but no, I'm just kidding. No, that's sweet. I think it is. It's been really wonderful, and I've always thought that you do great doing a show. So I'm really glad that you're cutting your teeth here on the portal with me. That's really cool.
This is practice.
It is practice. Excuse me. But we are going to touch on ghostly phenomena tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Primarily, I mean, we oftentimes talk about a lot of different things, and certainly don't keep your, if you've got an experience that you want to share, it doesn't necessarily have to be theme specific with the topic of the day. I mean, it's great if it is, but if you happen to have seen a UFO or if you happen to have seen a Bigfoot or something like that, you can always feel free to share those. Now, if you don't want to do it in the chat and you don't want to call in, you can always email any of your experiences to the show, and I'll be happy to read your accounts if that's what you'd prefer. Last night we read one from Will Ulmer, who's Grassman58 in the chat. A great experience. He had an encounter with a Bigfoot, and it was a hell of a story. I'm here to tell you, Will's a brave guy. And if you missed that, please check it out again. That was last night's show. And it was in the last half hour of the show, but it's an incredible show, or a credible story. Incredible, not credible. Incredible story.
Incredible.
Yeah. I mean, Will is credible for sure. I've had the pleasure of meeting Will. We met for the first time ever, actually, in person. He's been a friend of the show for a long time in the chat and such, but we met in person in Medellin Falls. He was up at the Bigfoot festival up there in Medellin Falls early in July when Don and I were up there. Nice, really, really wonderful guy, and met he and his wife. So if you've got an encounter of your own you want to share, you don't want to call in, you don't want to try to type it out in chat, just email it to me. I'll be happy to read it when I can. And I will feature it also on the podcast, which are a different show entirely, but oftentimes do entire shows on listener submissions, listener emails and stuff. So that's always an option. But anyway, let's get into it. I hope you're all ready because it's time for bed. Boom. There we go, Sheldon. We're now underway. Are you ready?
All right.
Do you feel
Perfect.
Do you feel the power of the moment?
I'm feeling it. Embracing it.
Yeah. Okay. Just embrace tightly. Not too tightly, but a little bit. I don't know. I'm so stupid in my head. I can't even begin to tell you. Anyway, let's get to some stories. I got an article pulled up here. Let me pull that up, and we'll get into that right away here. This is one we've actually touched on a little bit, but we still got more to go. These are collections of stories. It was written by Anna Lindwasser, and these are true stories of supernatural intervention. And some of them are really cool. I don't think we read all of them. I don't think so. I know we read a few of them, but let's get to that. And this is coming from ranker.com. Again, true stories of supernatural intervention. The one we're on, I believe, if my bookmarking was correct, is They Heard a Dead Girl Scream. And it comes by Mike the Deceiver. Unless I'm really...
Mike the Deceiver. That's a pretty awesome name.
M-A-I-Q, though, is how he spells it. Or she, I don't know. That's an interesting spelling. Mike the Deceiver. Mike, I don't know. Back in high school, me and my friends like to go places we shouldn't and smoke some 420 friendly. So on 420, Well, one year we go to our old elementary school at like 10:30 at night to blaze it. Since it was so late, we were kind of trespassing, kinda. How do you kinda trespass? if you're there and you're not supposed to be, that's just trespassing. That's not kinda.
It's kind of like last night, unofficial investigation.
On the way there, right, that one where that woman fell through the roof. Yeah.
Yes.
On the way there, my friend whose mom worked at the school told us about how one of the old janitors told his mom that a long time ago, a girl died in a landslide on the hill behind the school. So we're walking around the building when suddenly we hear a very loud, clear little girl scream coming from the direction of the playground, which would make sense if it wasn't 10:30 on a school night. It was one of those moments out of a movie where we all just looked at each other, mouth agape, and booked it out of there as fast as possible. Yeah, there's one thing that'll snap you right to your senses, and that's hearing a little girl scream when there shouldn't be a little girl screaming there.
That'll do it. Yeah.
That's horrifying. And then you think about other things like, some people say dogmen can scream like a woman, sound like a woman in distress or a girl in distress. And that's freaky. That's freaky. That's like 7 or 8 feet of bad mood and claws coming at you. Android Purity says, oh, no, you already said it. I already read this. Sorry. I thought the chat. My chat's being really doggy tonight, ladies and gentlemen. So if you do put something in chat, I don't know what the deal is, but it was like taking forever for things to come back. When Sheldon would type something before the show, it was like, 10 seconds or more before I actually saw it on my screen. Something funny?
Peyton says, it always starts with drugs, eh?
It's all with the best of intentions, I'm sure.
Yes.
Not that we're promoting that here on the portal.
No.
But,
no.
It always starts with a chemical and just goes downhill from there. And Maggie's right. Maggie says, foxes scream like a woman. That's true.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I remember hearing them back home, actually. There was this one fox that was very tame, and I could feed him from my hand, but or her. I don't know if it was him or her. I never checked, but at any rate, I could hear the fox on the hill running back and forth screaming. And it sounds, it never really sounded like a woman, but it was definitely the fox. You could hear him running through the brush up there on the bluff behind the house. It was pretty weird. Paranormal Portal, there is a YouTube setting to switch between top chat and love chat. What the hell's love chat?
I don't know, but I like the sound of it already.
Yeah, Peyton, drugs and trespassing. Yeah, that's how it all goes bad right there. That's where the paranormal steps in. Because what are you going to do? Call the cops? Come on.
Yeah.
You're breaking into the school, going to smoke a joint. And nope, probably not. All right.
No.
Let's continue on. The next one in the list is the house made it clear that the intruders weren't welcome. From Redditor Sensei 10. He's the one that submitted this. I imagine it's a he, but I broke into this. Here we go. What is this? This is like everybody's breaking into places. Jesus. They deserve to get haunted. They deserve to get haunted. It's like terrible. It's like the worst ever. I broke into this one abandoned house once. It sat on the edge of the block and was behind a tall white wall, so you only saw what the yard looked like once you climbed over. And that's what fences are for. Just for the record. Yeah. That's why people put them in. They don't like you looking in their yard. Old shopping carts, toys, old doghouse, kind of dreary. Door of the house had boards on it, so I had to pry those off with a crowbar. The dude came with tools.
He came prepared.
He wasn't just happening by and decided to leap the fence. This guy was prepared. Once on the inside, everything was black. It looked like the entire inside had been coated in soot. From the ceiling to the bathtub to the windows, just all black. Thought that was weird. Anyway, I spent a whole week there in the darkest point of winter. Oh, my God. And I'm sure there was more than one reason I never got a night's sleep. Well, it could be black mold.
Oh, that's actually true.
I know. He's being slowly poisoned over a week. I don't know why I'm not sleeping. I got a new pillow, but I just can't sleep. Yeah, you might want to. It's like it's black everywhere. Could be black mold. I don't know. The next one. Go ahead. What were you going to say?
Oh, no, just reading Peyton's comments. It was my classic Sunday B&E.
After I jacked a few cars, I thought I'd close out the night with a nice B&E. I don't know what's wrong with these people, but they kind of get what they got. I mean, they deserve what they got. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Here's the next one. A mysterious phone call gave a squatter. This is like the worst list of stories ever. Now we get people just taking possession of places. Gave a squatter an important tip. All right. This is from Jeremy V. I remember a creepy story with a similar theme like this. Oh, is that like asking for a friend kind of thing? It's not my story, but I remember a story.
Oh, yeah.
Wasn't me squatting. It was this one guy. A guy was talking about how he'd squat in a house that had been put on the market, and he had a key to get in because he knew the owners, and he'd sleep and shower there after work. He talked about how one night while he slept, the phone started ringing. He couldn't figure out where it was coming from. And then he saw police cars pull up in the driveway. He hid while they scanned the windows and doors and then booked it after they left. He later came back and said that the locks had been changed. He looked at the whole thing like the house was warning him he'd be kicked out. Yeah. And potentially jail. I mean, you know.
I mean, Peyton brought up a really good point. These are vigilante hauntings.
They are. This is like the proper kind of haunting, like get the hell out kind of hauntings. And they're not just the, hey, I'm going to move your keys and hide them kind of thing. This is get the hell out. You shouldn't be here hauntings.
I'm going to summon black mold to get you out.
I don't know. That stuff is dangerous, though. I mean, people really I don't know. I've heard it can be lethal, right? If you got a bad enough case of it. Is that true? I don't know. Somebody in the chat will have to let me know. But
I don't know.
I think that stuff can really screw you up.
Well, I imagine it's not good for your lungs.
Well, that's true. I mean, that is one of the things that breathing that stuff is really a bad thing. Here, the next one is a pickpocket got caught by a warlock. What?
Wow.
Were they playing WoW? Is this a World of Warcraft story or what? I was roguing through Stormwind when I bumped into a warlock. Sorry, folks. I enjoyed World of Warcraft for a long time. So, all right. This is from Dead Pendulum. I'm a pretty talented pickpocket. This is like the worst list ever. What is
this list?
I don't know. I'm sorry. We do not advocate this behaviors on the Paranormal Portal, just for the record and the official disclaimer. I'm just reading this stuff. I didn't write any of it, but slight kleptomania. Lifted a wallet from a man as I came up behind him on the street. Almost zero contact. No one should have noticed a thing. But the man spoke out very calmly as I passed him. Could I have that back, please? I turned around to see he was wearing sunglasses. He lifted them up and revealed that he was blind. I was so completely dumbstruck and baffled that I apologized and gave him back the wallet. Well, that's good. I mean, he could have took off, but wasn't too worried about him picking me out of a lineup anyways, and didn't want to be the guy that steals from the handicap. I guess his sense of touch was sharpened by the loss of sight or something like that. But for a brief second, I was sure this man was a warlock. Well, that's not paranormal at all.
Confirmed all blind people are warlocks.
That's right. They're all magical. Android says black mold is always a worry when I show a foreclosure to someone. Yeah, I don't know. Is it deadly though? I mean, can it be that kind of bad, or is it just like people have really bad reactions and can make you sick? I don't. That's what I'm curious about. So show a foreclosure. I'm going to have to turn my auto. Oh, show a foreclosure. Yeah, I knew what you meant. Android, for anybody that's not familiar with him, is a longtime friend of the show, but he's also a realtor. So he shows houses.
Well, nice.
Yeah, he's seen some spooky stuff too. Let's go to the next one. The wine wasn't worth it. This is from Hi Dingy Doo. Something similar happened to a friend of mine. I don't know similar to what, but anyway. He worked at an expensive liquor store and decided to steal some bottles of wine one night. Just a minute or so after opening the back door and walking into the darkness, he claims to have heard a voice say, "What are you doing?" He immediately felt frightened and left without the wine. Well, that's good. I mean, these people are being scared straight, you know? Like, nope.
I mean, all these stories start with stealing, breaking the law in some way, shape, or form. I don't blame the ghosts at this point.
I know. It's a perfect time for a haunting. It's like, nope, you deserve every bit of that. I don't care if you had to go home and scrape your underwear. You just enjoy that because you earned it. Here's the next one. A voice from above told this guy to run from the cops. Oh. This is like the two angels. This is the devil one, I think.
Yeah.
One of them's the devil, one of them's the angel. This one was loudest at this point. This is from JD Storer 12. And again, running from the cops. This is like the this is like the really twisted list. I don't know what's wrong with everybody on this. Have you ever been doing a crime and had a paranormal event happen? I don't know what this Reddit thread was, but man, these people are crawling out of the woodwork.
This is showing we're asking the wrong people. We need to start asking criminals for their experiences.
Yeah, what do they got to lose? Yeah, there's one time. It says, wow, I've never heard another person's story like this. A buddy of mine was driving to college and got group pulled over, mass traffic stop, and after just finishing a bowl. And he's not talking about cereal, folks, I'm pretty sure. Because I don't think that's illegal. I know, irresponsible and dangerous. We did dumb stuff back then, and we all regret it. He pulled up behind another car and stopped, and then the cop, who was talking to the other car, walked past my buddy's truck. The car in front starts to pull off, and then my buddy says he just hears a voice in his head say, "Go," and he pulled away just like that. He spent the remainder of his drive back to school just waiting for the cops to show up on his tail, but they never did. I'm pretty sure that's when he decided to quit smoking pots. Anyway, it's crazy hearing something so similar from another person. I always believed him. He's one of my oldest friends and just sitting just about at the top of my list when it comes to godparents for my future kids. And I would trust him with anything. It's still hard to believe, though. And apparently the police never showed up, so that's good. They didn't want to be ghost food. What the hell? I don't think they eat a lot, but let's see
what a title.
I know, right? This is from Spawn of Bacon. That's a cool name. I like that.
Nice.
Spawn of Bacon. One day I went to rob the house of an old lady. I don't even feel good.
Oh my God.
I don't even feel good reading these. I just feel like I need to go take a shower. It's like, I got to wash all this crime off me. Got to the door, thought it was my lucky day. It was unlocked. So I quietly made my way to the living room and almost pooped my pants. The old lady was sitting in silence, staring at some unknown presence in the garden, not moving at all. I didn't want to be ghost food, so I left, and now I only rob young ladies. Changed my life, man.
What?
I don't know what to say. This is terrible.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead. Nope, I was done.
Okay. Android Purity says it's not deadly instantly unless you have severe allergy to it, but short-term exposure can give you really bad lung symptoms, chronic cough, and breathing problems.
Huh. Okay.
Chronic cough, sneezing, irritation of the eyes, mucus. Yeah. Okay.
Wow. That's not
so it's
good.
Only...
I just looked up black mold. In severe cases of prolonged exposure, it causes nosebleeds and bleeding of the lungs. Oh, dear God.
Oh, yeah.
That sounds like tuberculosis. Jesus.
Yeah, it kind of does.
Paranormal or schizophrenia, Peyton says. Yeah, it could be either. Could be either. I'm not sure, but this is the Paranormal Portal, not the schizophrenic portal. So we're gonna go. Right. We're gonna go with paranormal for the record. The next one.
This is not a valid menu option.
I don't know what that is. It happens sometimes. We got a call. Are you there, Sheldon?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. I didn't know I lost you or something, but let's get to the call because we can come back to this hot sheet of criminal intent in just a couple minutes. But we got a call here from area code 201. You're on the air. Are you there?
Oh.
Hello?
Can you hear me?
I can hear
Hello.
you. Yeah, welcome to the show.
Oh, yeah. Okay, great. Yeah, hi, guys. Yeah, just an interesting story. It's kind of a sad story,
Okay.
but I don't know. I figured I would share it with you.
Oh, please.
Hold on, I'm going up my stairs. I have like so many stairs in my house. It's crazy. And of course, it knocks me out.
Sure.
But I'm not the young guy I used to be.
Oh,
okay.
I feel you. I
I
feel
wouldn't
you.
get on. So, yeah, ghost stories. One thing that I thought was very interesting when I was younger, I'm in my 50s now, but in my 20s, I used to live in Austria.
Okay.
Vienna, Salzburg. I lived in the Sound of Music. If anyone's interested, if anyone remembers that beautiful movie,
yeah.
I lived in that town, and I was very fortunate. So, living there gave me an opportunity to travel locally pretty cheaply,
Okay.
And I used to go to Eastern Europe quite a bit. Poland, Czech Republic, Slovakia, Hungary, Germany,
Sure.
Slovenia, Croatia before it was cool. So, now it's but I was there before it was cool. And one of the things that, in terms of ghosts, it's like I said, I hope it doesn't, I'll leave it up to your discretion. I hope it doesn't disturb anybody.
Oh, no.
But in my opinion, I think it's a beautiful story that should be told. In March of '95, friends of mine and I went to Poland. We got on the train and we went to Poland. And, of course, we were rich Westerners then. We had Austrian shillings in our pockets, and the exchange rate was amazing, so we could kind of live pretty well.
Uh-huh.
And but ultimately, we went to the train station in Krakow, and in southern Poland, and there were a lot of people who were still suffering from the transition from communism to Western democracy,
Sure.
and these elderly people would open their homes and they would stand at the train stations with sort of binders of pictures of their homes. Come home with us. We'll take care of you.
Aw.
We'll cook for you. We'll drive you around. Just for a small fee. And we really got into the habit of going home with these people. They were elderly couples, and they were just lovely people, and they just would bend over backwards, and they would do wonderful things. So, long story short, we went home with this family, this elderly couple in Krakow, Poland, and he was a retired university professor of English and history. So he spoke English, and he knew history very well.
Uh-huh.
And he said, "Listen, come to my wife's going to cook for you. You'll have a nice place to sleep, and I will drive you around if you want to go out to the bars at night. I'll pick you up afterwards." They were lovely.
Oh, cool.
Anyway,
Yeah.
it's a nice experience. But one of the things when we were in Krakow in southern Poland, one of the things that we wanted to see was the Auschwitz concentration camp.
Oh, sure.
It's a very important historical event, and a lot of people say, "Well, why would you go there?" And well, I'm half Polish. It's part of my heritage. I studied German. Anyway, long story short, we went there, and as you could imagine, it was extremely disturbing. It was actually a very interesting time to be there because I was there in February, I think of February of '95, and that was they were already set up for the 50th anniversary of the liberation of the Auschwitz concentration camp.
Oh, wow.
When Eisenhower went in, and so Bill Clinton was there. All of the world leaders were there to pay respect, and they had a lot of historical sort of exhibitions up, to kind of what has gone on, not only what went on there, but also what have we learned in the past 50 years. You know, it was a very interesting time to go.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm very fortunate that I was there for that. Actually, the Auschwitz was liberated on January 27th, 1945, which was is actually my birthday. Well, not the year, 1970, but you know, yeah. The day, January 27th, which I'm very, very happy to claim that. In any case, you know, we were there, and we, you know, a couple of friends of mine and I really experienced an intense, you know, emotional response to what we were seeing. You know, of course, there's no way you cannot. There's just, Lord have mercy, you know. I don't know. There are a few places on Earth that can probably elicit that kind of tragic, you know, feeling in you of, you know, the struggle, you know, for human rights and all of this. You know, you just can't go. You can't go to a place like this and not come away unchanged.
Right. Yeah, I agree.
And I remember we went there, and you know, it's a long story. I won't go into that aspect of it, but we were definitely moved. Mm-hmm. It was actually, believe it or not, if I remember correctly, it was Valentine's Day, 1995, February 14th, 1995. And all of us, as we got back to Krakow, you know, there was you know, celebrations, and music in the streets and stuff like that. I guess they celebrate. I thought Valentine's Day was more of an American thing, but they celebrated over there too. And we, all of us, my friends, you know, I was with about 4 friends. I was with, you know, another American and 2 British people. Mm-hmm. And we all kind of just went back to our apartments, our hotel rooms, and we just wanted to be alone after what we had experienced that day. It was a lot to absorb. It was a lot to absorb. And we wound up, you know, eventually we wound up traveling further through Poland, which is a really amazing country, a beautiful country, a lot of history. And we wound up, you know, eventually going back to our homes in Salzburg, in Austria.
Okay.
And when I got back to my apartment in Salzburg, you know, if we're talking about ghosts, I would go to sleep. I would lie down in bed. You know, my lights were off. I'd be in my bedroom. I'd be going to sleep. And almost, I don't know if you've ever had an experience, yeah, I'm sure you have, where you've seen like a really bright light, and then if you close your eyes, you can kind of see the outline of something, you know. So I would be going to sleep, and I would see the outline of sort of emaciated figures of human beings, of shaved heads and skinny people. And there was nothing scary about it. There was nothing scary. There was nothing predatory or negative about it. But, you know, I talked to one of my friends, and one of my friends said, you know, are you seeing them at night? Are you seeing them before you go to sleep? I said, yeah, I am. Are you? And she said, yeah, I am. Every time I go to sleep at night, they're there. But there's nothing, you know, it's not scary. They're not trying to scare you. It's not like a spooky ghost or anything like that. I just feel like maybe there's unrest, you know?
Sure.
And so, you know, it happened for about 2 weeks, and then eventually it settled down. But I got to the point where when I was going to sleep at night, I would sort of just expect to see them. And I would lie down, I'd go to bed, and I'd close my eyes, and I would sort of see the outline of these people. You know, these were normal, everyday, average people who were, you know, caught up in a horrific experience, and many of them lost their lives, you know. And, you know, so there was nothing negative. It wasn't like a bad spirit or anything like that. They didn't frighten me or anything. And I thought it was interesting that I didn't mention anything, and my friends mentioned it to me. They're like, are you seeing them at night before you go to sleep? And I said, yeah, I am. Are you? And they said, yeah. You know, so, you know, I mean, I don't know, Lord, you know, God have mercy. You know, I don't know if there's still a lot of unrest. You know, you can imagine there probably would be unrest with people who lost their lives in that situation. But in any case, you know, like I said, it wasn't negative. It wasn't scary. I think, I don't know. I can just say that, I had an experience that was corroborated by a few other friends who went with me. So, I just pray that these people who lost their lives, in the Holocaust, that they can find rest and peace,
Right.
But, I can tell you, if you visit those places, you're never going to quite be the same.
Right.
I don't know what else to say. So, I just thought, so I think they probably, the spirits, the ghosts, whatever you want to call them,
Mm-hmm.
kind of clung to me a little bit.
Sure.
When I already went back to Austria.
Yeah.
And then to sort of be corroborated by friends of mine, without even mentioning it. They're like, are you seeing them? I'm like, yeah, I'm still seeing them. I am. There's nothing scary, there's nothing negative, but so I don't know. I hope, again, I know this is a very sort of touchy topic, and if you choose to share it or not, I would understand. I know it's something that would hit home to a lot of people.
Sure.
But in any case, I mean it with the greatest respect.
Yeah.
And the greatest love. And, I can only say that, I just personally pray that, the people who lost their lives there are finding peace.
Yeah.
And if not, I hope they find it soon.
Mm-hmm.
So in any case, I thought it would be an interesting, since the topic is tonight, I thought I would share that with you.
That's
because I haven't really talked about it to too many people, but I just think it's it's worthy. And if anybody is prayerful, to kind of say a prayer for these people who lost their lives there,
Absolutely.
it wouldn't be a bad thing. So anyway, I just wanted to share that with you.
Well, I think that it would make sense. Of course, it's many people believe that extreme tragedy can leave people kind of stranded. Of course, to be in that situation and to experience the horrors that they did, I can imagine
Mm-hmm.
that would be a huge negative imprint on them, and maybe they're just not ready to let go of that yet, to let go of that pain and to make that journey.
Yeah.
Now, it's also possible that it was such a profound psychic event over such a prolonged period of time that what you experienced was an imprint of those memories that are still within the stone and the soil, and perhaps it wasn't necessarily earthbound spirits as much as it was the imprints that their suffering left behind. I mean, that's certainly another possibility, and that's the one that I would hope for personally, because you wouldn't want to think that after enduring those horrors and that suffering, that then they would be just abandoned in this place trying to figure out, how to release that and let go. You'd hope that some divine hand would come down and scoop them up and say, in love and all of that. But, it's anybody's guess. But I hope it was more residual, and that was the imprint it left on you and your friends that visited. And I don't know, but it's anybody's guess.
Yeah. I can tell you, when we were there,
Mm-hmm.
I remember, feeling like we remember seeing, when we were walking into the fields where there were the mass graves, of course, there was a herd of deer. There must have been 100 of them, and they just ran by. And all of us, we took like this sigh of relief. We're like, what a beautiful image,
Yes.
in this place of such pain and suffering.
Right.
What a beautiful image, almost an image of healing, so I agree. I think the place holds a lot of energy, negative energy.
Sure.
And I would, like you said, I hope that the people who suffered, and or died there, have, found a place of peace by now,
Right.
But so, I'm leaving it up to your discretion. I know that this is a sort of a touchy topic, but, I just
live.
think it was a very, it moved me in a very beautiful way. Like, it made me think about things in a different way.
Yep.
And my friends as well.
Absolutely.
So I just thought I would share that with you.
Well, thank you so much for doing that, and thanks for sharing that. And it is. I think it's a beautiful story too, because it wasn't horrible. It wasn't horrifying. It was just it's nice to think that we haven't forgotten these things, and that was a memory that you took with you. And however, whether it was paranormal or just it's always possibly that it's just a psychological imprint. But the fact that you all had the same vision from that, I would think it's probably more energy related. But we can't learn by forgetting, and that's certainly an important lesson from our past. So thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much for sharing it with us.
Oh, my pleasure. My pleasure. Thank you for being there, and I love your show. So thank you.
Oh, thank you very much. And call in anytime if you got more stories. I'd love to hear them.
Absolutely.
All right, man. Take care. Bye-bye.
All right. Good night.
See ya.
Wow, that's really powerful. Oof.
Yeah, stories like that.
There's some places in the world that, unfortunately have seen such pain and suffering and horror, but there are very few places, as I imagine, as profound as Auschwitz would be. I mean, that would be absolutely, I can't even mentally imagine what that would have been like. And I guess that's good, in some ways, but if there is going to be a place that has been imprinted, that has strong residual impressions left, it certainly would be probably on the top of the list. So I think that that's probably a strong possibility. And it's also possible that there are those that haven't been able to move on yet, that it was such a place of pain that they still suffer from. They're still working through that, I guess. But yeah. Wow. Those are such powerful stories. And thanks again so much for calling in and sharing that. That's incredible. And I appreciate the beauty that you saw it in most of all, because some people could walk away from that just feeling, like, oh, this is making me uncomfortable, but you found the beauty in it. And I think that that's very powerful. And I like to think that everything in life brings us to a place that we need to be for whatever reason. And I think that for you, that was a very powerful moment, and you will carry that, and you've shared it now with all of us, so it becomes ours as well. We're a culture of stories, and we learn by stories, and we're reminded by stories. So I always appreciate when you guys share those. Thank you so much.
Mm-hmm.
Rachel says, a powerful emotional presence may create an attachment, like a loud noise leaves a temporary ringing in the ears. Maybe energy of those souls left an impression on the psyche. Yeah, it sure could be. It's hard to know if it was intelligently left or if it was just by exposure, though, because such an incredible amount of pain and suffering happened in that one small location. And so I can't imagine the psychic imprint that still remains. But I do think the seeing the deer run across the plain is like, maybe that's nature processing that energy, and and maybe that was a vision for them as well. Like, what, as horrible as this was, beauty still returns, even to the most dark places. And I think that that's beautiful in itself. Just seeing those deer, I think, is very powerful too. But just my 2 cents.
The symbolism of it, I agree. I concur.
Yeah. I think that's powerful. So, you ready to get back to the hot sheets?
God. The crime-stricken page that we were at, yeah.
Well, it's awesome. I don't know.
I think it's just that much more entertaining when it comes to these stories. Just that every single one came out of something negative.
It's kind of funny because they say it's true stories of supernatural intervention. And I guess if there's ever needing an intervention, it's when somebody's doing something that they shouldn't be doing. So
these are probably just guardian angels.
Yeah, could be. But here's the next one. The sound came out of nowhere. Again, these are coming from ranker.com. The lists that they have here is True Stories of Supernatural Intervention. It was written or compiled by Anna Lindwasser. So this is by James Fishing Account. He's got his own Reddit fishing account. I grew up in a small town, and me and some friends made it our goal one summer to break into every building possible at night.
Oh, my God.
Wow. We didn't want to steal anything or actually break anything to get in. It was just more of a test of our ability to pick locks or create ways during the day that would make it easy to get in at night. We got into the elementary school one night, and there was rumors of a bomb shelter in the basement, so we had to check it out. It was true. The basement janitor closet had a big metal door, And inside there was some bomb shelter warning and instructional stuff, along with regular janitor equipment. Nothing interesting or crazy happened. While we were in the school, and we left after a short period of time, we hung out in the playground equipment afterwards, and at around 1 a.m., while we're just hanging out, there's this tapping sound coming from the 3rd floor window. And we all stopped talking and looked up. I couldn't see anything in the window, and then bam, 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 3 incredibly loud slams against the window. The window was shaking, but still nothing to be seen. We ran to the closest friend's house because it scared the bejesus out of us. Yeah, that's get the hell out.
Rachel's right. It's the para-illegal portal tonight.
I feel like I should have started the show with the cops theme.
What
Sorry.
you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you?
Thank you. All right. They could feel the building's terrifying history. I think this might be the last story of this list. I know they've been fun, but this is by Serious Dollar.
Nice.
Got a dollar? No, I just want a serious dollar. We forced an entry into abandoned and dismantled psychiatric asylum. We wandered the halls and had a look at all the various rooms, some nice and open with windows, and bathrooms, and some small and cell-like. The rec room had iron bars over the window frames, and in the center of the whole building was a quiet little courtyard with a few drill holes where benches used to be. Well, there wasn't the sense of being watched or presence, but somehow I could feel the history of fear and confusion of the place. The urge to leave was strong, and I was caught in a weird place of moving fast but remaining consciously calm. I had to keep reminding myself that everything was fine and that I could go outside at any time. There again, that's a good example, I think, of a psychic impression. I don't necessarily think that they were experiencing a haunting or any like active paranormal activity, but I think they were picking up on those impressions of the people there. Like, I got to get out of here. This is, it's making me crazy. I think that those are sad places a lot of times, psychiatric asylums, because the people that are suffering from whatever it is that's wrong, they're in torment. I mean, most often they're in some serious torment because whatever it is, and as much as we can sit on the outside and go, well, that's silly, for them it's real. I mean, they are seeing things, they are experiencing things that they just can't wrap their heads around, and it's breaking them psychologically. And it's, maybe they're already broken psychologically, but you know what I'm saying. So I think what they're experiencing in this last story is that impression, those feelings that were stored in the walls. And for those of you that are new to the show, there's a parapsychology term that's called the stone tape theory. And it's the idea that our surroundings absorb our energy and are imprinted with our energy. And that's where residual hauntings are believed to come from, is that psychic energy is stored up and sometimes just activates. Sometimes it's just like a recording, though. It's not an intelligent spirit in many cases. It's just this impression that does the same thing. Like, oh, we always see the old man sitting in the chair looking out the window every night or every month or every year. And there's not any rhyme or reason of it. The activity doesn't seem to center around anyone or react to them necessarily. It just happens. So that's basically what residual haunting is. So I don't know. It's up to you what you believe, of course, but that was that list. I think it was a pretty good one.
I think so too. I mean, especially with that last one we just read. I mean, when you consider all the things, I can't speak for all of them, but at least some of them, there were some horrible experiments that were done on these people that some people couldn't even express themselves at all.
Right. Yep. Forced lobotomies and stuff.
Yeah. The only place they had was they were trapped in their head. Mm. And then we do even more things to them when all they had was themselves in their head.
Electroshock therapy.
Things like that. I can imagine it would leave an impression if anywhere would.
Ice water therapies where they would make them submerge them and have them sitting in a bath of ice water.
I've heard that. Yeah.
How is that going to make you more sane? I mean, that's nothing short of a torture. I don't know what the hell these people were thinking back then.
Yeah.
Reminds me of the movie Grave Encounters. I'm not
Encounters.
familiar with that. Not familiar with that one.
Yeah, you have to tell me what that's about, Peyton. I'm curious.
Me too now. Because he put it in the chat.
Yeah, tell us all.
With no
Tell us
context. With no context. Give us a link, for God's sakes, man. What's wrong with you? But I think that brings us to the tail end of the show, where we get into Trail Cam Terror.
All right, that's right.
That's right. Let's see what's on the menu tonight for the Trail Cam Terrors. Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Trail Cam Terrors. This is our section of the show, the segment of the night terrors, where we talk about. Oftentimes, we covered a bunch of trail cam photos that may or may not have been paranormal. And again, here's the thing: with you, full disclosure, if you find something on the internet that's paranormal, you got about a 2% chance that it actually is, because there's a lot of crap out there. There's a lot of people trying to push hoaxes. Maybe it's a higher percentage, but it's really tough to find really credible paranormal stuff. However, this video that I'm going to share with you tonight it's been around for years and years, but it's the article where I found it right now. Maybe I should find a different place for it. Hold on. Let me just search for this, because I don't know if I want to use an article for this. Let's go to YouTube. And I'm going to do a search. I'm not going to tell you what I'm searching, because I want it to be the big reveal.
Ooh.
I think it's kind of a good video, though. Maybe it's something. Let's see. Here it is.
I'm ready.
Oh no, that's a whole package deal, that one. Maybe I got to use it if I can't find it here in a second. I didn't think about that. Oh, here it is. Maybe. How long is this video? Yeah, this is the one. Okay. We'll use this one. Ladies and gentlemen. This is a video. Let me just do this. What is this channel that it's on? It's coming from Offhand Disney. They got a lot of subscribers, but let me get to the actual video in question.
Yes.
And it's pretty cool. Let me just see. I just got to review this quickly, because it's not really a long video. Yeah, it's just a segment of it. I just want to show this quick segment. It's only about 10 seconds long. But this is a video that allegedly depicts a spirit running around in Disney World.
Ooh.
You be the judge. It's still part of a conglomeration video, but I'm just going to show this segment. I'm not going to play the sound, though. Let me just minimize this once again. What the hell? I blush it. I can't. I'm trying to mute it. Okay, it is muted. All right, there we go. All right, so this is a video that allegedly depicts a ghost walking, and that is visible on the security monitors at Disney. So a Disney security employee recorded this. But anyway, for your viewing pleasure, ladies and gentlemen, I give you the Disney ghost.
Ooh.
Here it is. And they're zooming in on a monitor. And this is actually the haunted mansion. And this has been around for years and years. This is not a new video. But watch the sidewalk. Do you see it? Looks like someone walking. Comes up to the closed gate. Oh, no, that guy.
Oh, yeah. I see it.
Goes through the gate and goes over the water. I mean, it looks like a spirit, doesn't it?
Wow.
Yeah.
Yes, it does.
Yeah, this guy who did the compilation video, he's got some great videos himself. I forget his name. It's Captain's Disillusionment or something. But at any rate, there it is, folks. That's tonight's entry into the Trail Cam Terrors.
Wow. That's a pretty good video too of it.
Right.
Assuming it's real.
Assuming it's real, that is the assumption we're making, because if I told you it was all a bunch of garbage and then put it on there, it would lose all the impact. What the hell are you showing it
true.
for? No, I don't know. I mean, it could very well be. It could be some kind of hoax. I don't know, but it's interesting. So, is there a ghost wandering the walkway around the haunted mansion in Disney World? Maybe. You've been there.
maybe it's just a snapshot in time. Who knows?
Do you remember the Haunted Mansion?
Haunted Mansion, the Disney movie?
No, the Disney ride at Disney World.
No, I don't.
You were there.
I was probably there.
You were only 5. You were only 5, but you were there.
Yeah, that explains it.
Well, come on, Sheldon. It was an important event. No, we went to Disney World, remember? When you were 5 years old. But anyway,
I do remember, yep.
You do? Okay. Well, you have some.
That I was there, yeah.
Yeah, but the Haunted Mansion, I thought that was fun. I love that ride. That'll always be my all-time favorite of Disney. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, we've reached the end of our hour of the Paranormal Portal Night Terrors. I hope you've enjoyed yourself. I hope you've had a good time here with us. Sheldon, did you have a good time?
I had a great time.
Well, what do you got to say in closing?
Well, in closing, yes, I'm glad. I have a moment to tell everyone about another way to get connected with the Paranormal Portal. So in the chat, I'm typing in the Discord that Dad and I have worked together to set up to get everyone more connected.
Yes.
So, yeah, if you use that link, you should be able to get into the Discord. And then we have different topics like Bigfoot, Dogman, ghosts, UFO, extraterrestrial encounters, and cryptids, just as another way to get connected to everyone in the community and to us.
Absolutely. So the Discord server is live, ladies and gentlemen. If you follow that link, some people find Discord really awkward, but it's kind of one of those things that once you sort it out, it's fine. I mean, I haven't sorted out that much, but I know how to type and to see people typing. So, but if you want to ever catch me during the days, that's probably your best bet, to go into the Discord server and let me know how you're doing. I've always got it open. I just don't always, I'm not just always focused on it. So if you type a message, I will get back to you. I promise. But
yeah,
the Discord server, thank you again for all that, Sheldon. That's been awesome. I really appreciate you setting that up.
Yeah.
And of course, we did it a little bit together, but you had already done the heavy lifting on that deal. So all credit goes to you. But
well, I appreciate that. Peyton says I might need a lobotomy to help with that memory.
Android Purity's talking about the Disney video. He said there was a glare coming off the figure. That indicates it might have been illuminating its own light. That's true. That is true. There is a bit of a glare, and it's hard to know. I mean, to me, it looks like it could be legit, but that's all I can say. I mean, the only way to ever know for sure is you've got to go there. You've got to try to duplicate it. You've got to look into other factors. You've got to do test shots. I mean, actual investigation into something like that is really involved. All we can do is look at a video and say, does it look plausible? Yeah, I mean, it could be. So, and it's been around forever. So, Rachel says, great show. Criminally scary stories tonight.
Yeah, no kidding.
Welcome to the criminal edition of the Paranormal Portal, where people are trying to get scared straight, I guess. So, all right, that's going to wrap it up, ladies and gentlemen. That's all we got for you tonight. I hope you've had a good time. Thank you so much for joining us. As always, be sure to follow us on Facebook, facebook.com/Paranormal Portal Radio. Check out the Paranormal Portal fans page, and that's on Facebook as well. Paranormal Portal fans. I think I can't remember the exact URL. It's really got a cool title. Let me look at it again. The fans group it's facebook.com/groups/portal peeps. Portal peeps. So facebook.com/groups/portal peeps. And you can join the community there too. And don't forget the Discord. And remember to subscribe if you're not already subscribed to our YouTube channel. Peyton. All right. Just saying.
Yeah.
And anyone else that's not subscribed. And be sure to check out our podcast. It's available on all the podcast players. Pandora, Spotify, iHeart, iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, CastBox. The Paranormal Portal is everywhere and growing and spreading like a bad rash. So hopefully you'll check it out. All right. That's all we got. I'm going to roll the credits. Sheldon, you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. Good night, everybody. Love you all. Be good, be kind, be nice. Take care of each other. Help each other out. Find the magic in every day. And remember to laugh as much as you can. I forgot to turn on my mic lights tonight. There they are.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Love y'all. Have a great night.
Good night.